This is Ask NCM and I am Steve Hall. Today I want to talk about Saturday service staffing. This is a touchy subject, I know, but what I want you to think about is this phrase, fair but not equal. Everybody wants equality, but that's not necessarily fair. You want to open up more on Saturdays, and what you do is you take, or longer hours on Saturdays, and you take your best people and you put them into the same mix as everybody else, and all of a sudden they're upset and you possibly lose people, or at least attitudes go down. My question is, if you're going to really build Saturday business, could you do it on a fair but not equal basis? Now, I think that most everybody, or everybody, should work Saturdays, their fair share. But again, that's the word fair, not equal. I think that my long-term techs have been there for a real long time, may not work as many Saturdays as my newer technicians. As a matter of fact, what I would like to do is make sure that my new hires either work all Saturdays, that's part of their schedule, with another day off, or at least more Saturdays, maybe 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3, alleviating some of the longer term people on this. Now obviously you have to have skill mix and you can't have all express technicians there, but as you're hiring people, you actually have more leverage because they're wanting a job as to the schedule you set up. So that's the time to do it, not afterwards. What I'm trying to do is gain you additional business and facility capacity, while at the same time not putting people into a place where they possibly want to leave over a new program you're trying to start, over growing the business that you're trying to do, and not understanding really why it's at. This takes me all the way back to whenever I was a teenager. Whenever I was 15, started working at a grocery store, and I was a carryout. I was a new hire. There was a lot of carryouts at this. This is where we bagged groceries and carried them out to the cars for the customers. And what we did is the new hires got the worst schedule. We worked every Friday night, every Saturday night. Those were date nights whenever you were a teenager. We worked Sundays on this. We got the horrible days off. We got a separated days off, maybe a Tuesday night and a Thursday night. As you get a little bit more seniority, as you moved up, you started getting maybe a Tuesday and Wednesday off where you had back-to-back days, but you still worked the other hard days on it. As you got higher up, pretty soon you got where maybe you got one either Friday or Saturday night off. So there is a benefit to being there for tenure, knowing that the new hires had to take the worst schedule. This is something you can kind of work with. Now maybe you do this in two different fashions. Maybe your lube techs, you have the worst schedule for the newest and the best schedule as they get some seniority. And maybe for the main shop techs, you do the same thing on their aspect. So you actually have two different types of setups on it, so you can still have that work mix on it. It's just something to think about. Can you make it fair but not necessarily equal? That's the question. Because that 10-year or 20-year person saying, why should I have to work as many Saturdays as that person you just hired on it? Fair question on it, okay? Hopefully this will help you try to develop a strategy to grow your Saturday business and keep your employees in a more productive mood. If you have any questions, please email us at askncm@ncmassociates.com. We'll be glad to work on your questions.